Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 2. I am Raymond Ita. We're coming to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. Let's take a look at the day's headlines. FG unveils committee on cyber attack prevention. 87.2 million Nigerians cleared to elect new president and National Assembly members. Plus, King Charles condemns unprovoked attack in Ukraine. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us. We begin this afternoon on an electoral report that President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled a committee to coordinate the activities of computer security centers in the information and communication technology industry to intercept potential cyber attacks during the 2023 general election. The president, who was represented by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, stated that the committee will advise the federal government on appropriate measures to protect the country's cyberspace and ICT infrastructure from potential attacks, especially during the election. According to him, the committee will be led by the chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Adeolu Akande. During the inauguration of the committee in Abuja, he stated that with increased role of the ICT in online activities and its crucial role in the conduct of the 2023 elections, the job of the committee is to assist the country in conducting a free, fair and credible election. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) has ordered the closure of the country's borders throughout Saturday for the presidential and National Assembly elections. Controller General of the NIS, Issa Idris, gave the directive to command controllers across the country in a circular. Accordingly, all command controllers, especially those in the border states, are to ensure strict enforcement of the directive. In the meantime, as Nigerians head to the polls on Saturday, 87.2 million voters have been cleared to participate in the crucial exercise. Data released by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) shows that 93.5 million Nigerians were registered to participate in the presidential and National Assembly election, as well as the governorship and state assembly polls slated for March 11. According to reports, 87.2 million voters had collected their permanent voter cards, PVCs, as of February 5, the deadline for the collection of the cards. According to INEC, the number of uncollected PVCs stands at over 6 million, representing 6.7% of PVCs that are still uncollected. Meanwhile, INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu revealed that a total of 1,642,385 polling units and collation center agents of political parties will participate in the elections. Elsewhere, the Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB) has disclosed that it will monitor all public officials on election duties during the presidential and National Assembly polls slated for Saturday in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Chairman of the CCB, Issa Mohammed, made the disclosure at a press briefing in Abuja. Mohammed said the CCB is mandated by the provisions of the paragraph 3 subsection D and 1 of part 1 of the third schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended to ensure compliance and, where appropriate, enforce the provisions of the Code of Conduct or any law related to it. He noted that the Code of Conduct was in reference to public officials and in particular a reference to those who would participate in the conduct of the 2023 general elections. It stressed that the body would focus on the monitoring activity, generally on the electoral process, as provided by the Electoral Act of 2002 and the 2023 general election guidelines. Well, staying with electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) had begun the movement of sensitive electoral materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria to the 21 local government area headquarters in Adamawa State. The dispatch of the materials was witnessed by representatives of registered political parties through their agents. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Yunusa Hudu, during the distribution of the materials, assured of adequate security for the presidential polls, which will be held tomorrow. Hudu said he expects the polls to proceed without any hitch because of the assurances the Commission has received from security agencies of their readiness towards an orderly and peaceful outcome at the polls. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has stated that there will be no telecommunication shutdown for the elections, as all network operations would run as usual. The NCC said the attention of the Nigerian Communications Commission has been drawn to fraudulent and misleading information circulating in some social media platforms, insinuating that there is a planned shutdown of all telecom networks and relevant ICT units, including online transfer facilities of the banks. The NCC therefore advised the Nigerian public, consumers of telecommunication services, and all bank customers to ignore the circulation. Away from that, the federal government says it had approved 9 companies to immediately verify the properties of the Nigerian Postal Service (NIPOST) across the country. According to reports, NIPOST is an agency of the federal government that provides and operates facilities for the collection, dispatch, and distribution of inland and overseas mail at a reasonable cost. The Bureau of Public Enterprises stated in a statement that 9 firms have been approved by the National Council on the privatization under the chairmanship of the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo to immediately carry out a nationwide verification of NIPOST Properties and Development Company Limited. On the Naira crunch, in an effort to drive a cashless economy, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has suggested the use of e-Naira for cash transfers during the National Social Safety Net Program scale-up. This was according to the National FinTech Strategy document obtained from the website of the CBN. The document was created by the National Financial Inclusion Steering Committee, chaired by the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. The document revealed that the e-Naira can be pre-programmed for payments to the poor and vulnerable on the social register. Recall that the CBN launched its central bank digital currency, the e-Naira, on October 25, 2021 to drive financial inclusion, payment systems efficiency, improvements covering remittances and social intervention, as well as revenue and tax collections. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria has launched the USSD channel of the central bank digital currency tagged the e-Naira on BullNet platform to boost the usage of the platform. But during the launch in Lagos, the Chief Executive Officer, BullNet Bulletin and Inquiring Networking Services, Bayo Akintoye, said the USSD with the code *997*50# would suit the pain felt by Nigerians given the current scarcity of cash as it transitioned from cash-based economy to a cashless one. He said the CBN has collaborated with CAMS Mobile Limited to address challenges faced primarily by the unbanked and underdeserved by developing the service known as e-Naira Enhanced Services via the e-Naira USSD channel, which is fully run and powered by the patented BullNet platform. To Africa now, U.S. First Lady Joe Biden has reportedly spent a second day in Namibia visiting Hope Initiative Southern Africa. The initiative is a non-governmental organization that works to end poverty and hunger in marginalized communities in the region. Biden seized the opportunity to educate Namibians on gender-based violence and preventive measures of HIV infections. Still in Africa, Burkina Faso has announced a recruitment drive for 5,000 soldiers to serve in the army for at least 5 years to aid the country in its fight against jihadists. According to reports, the country has been battling insurgency since 2015. Defense Minister Kassim Koulibaly said in a statement that the recruitment of young male soldiers will extend from February 28 to March 7, and enlistees must have been born between January 1, 1988 and December 31, 2003. Recall that it is the third time in less than a year the Burkinabe Army has organized such recruitment. In April 2022, 3,000 soldiers were recruited, with the process launched again in October. On our foreign scene, King Charles III has commended Ukraine's remarkable courage and resilience on the one-year anniversary of the Russian invasion. The monarch, who met with President Zelensky at the Buckingham Palace, said the people of Ukraine have suffered unimaginably from the full-scale attack on their nation. He added that the support from the UK and its allies was heartening to see as the world watched in horror the suffering inflicted upon Ukrainians over the past year. Still on the foreign scene, U.S. officials say the United States is planning to increase the number of its troops training Taiwanese forces on the self-governing island in the coming months. In a talk with bipartisan U.S. congressional delegation, Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen said that the two militaries would cooperate and plan to bolster military exchanges. According to the Defense Department's data, the U.S. had between 20 and 40 troops based in Taiwan in recent years. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said China may provide Russia with lethal support for its war in Ukraine. Still to come in the news. Iwobi ranks fourth most creative EPL player ahead of Mo Salah and Riyad Mahrez. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. And now in our business news, power distribution companies have stepped up the quantum of electricity load allocation that they receive and distribute to consumers across the country, as the latest data from the federal government showed a reduction in the amount of unutilized energy by the DISCOs. Or data released by the federal government's own transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, on a daily DISCOs load summary from February 4 to February 10, 2023, showed that the cumulative excess load allocation that was taken and distributed by the DISCOs during the period was 897 megawatts. The report, however, indicated that the total quantum of energy that was not utilized during the same period was 407.53 megawatts, adding that Nigeria's daily power generation has been hovering between 4,500 megawatts and 5,000 megawatts for some weeks now. An analysis of data for the 11 DISCOs indicated that on February 4, 7 of the power firms took a cumulative excess load allocation of 97.96 megawatts, while 4 others could not utilize a total of 63.68 megawatts. Staying with business, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has revealed that the price of 12.5 kilogram of cooking gas rose from 7,413.25 naira recorded in January 2022 to 10,277.17 in January 2023, representing a 38.63% increase on a year-on-year basis. The NBS State Profile analysis shows that Benue recorded the highest average retail price of 11,260.67 naira for 12.5 kilogram cooking gas, followed by Cross River at 10,833.33 naira and Ebonyi at 10,763.57 naira. And now in health, United States senators visiting South Africa to assess the impact of a major American-funded HIV and AIDS scheme have vowed to renew the program despite Pretoria's close ties with Russia. South Africa has forged ahead with highly controversial naval exercises jointly staged with Russia and China and coinciding with the one-year anniversary of the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. Reports say that the exercises were launched on Wednesday off the eastern coast of South Africa, despite calls for them to be postponed or cancelled. Still in health, a professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Solomon Avidime, says women experiencing irregular ovulation should go to the hospital for proper evaluation by maternal health experts. The gynecologist disclosed this in an interview with newsmen, adding that irregular ovulation could lead to infertility if not properly treated. He urged women with the condition to avoid self-medication and seek help. Professor Vidime identified polycystic ovarian syndrome, a hormonal disorder, premature ovarian failure, thyroid dysfunction, diabetes mellitus, and excessive weight gain as some of the health conditions that are associated with irregular ovulation. The maternal health expert also stated that a high-fat and low-fiber diet could predispose women to irregular ovulation. According to him, about 20% of women of reproductive age have irregular ovulation, also known as anovulation. And now in sports, Nigerian footballer Alex Iwobi has been rated the fourth most creative player in the English Premier League so far this season. The Nigerian midfielder is ahead of former African Footballer of the Year winners Mohamed Salah and Riyad Mahrez in the list. Salah, who won the African Footballer of the Year award in 2017 and 2018, has made 5 assists, one more than Mahrez, who was the recipient of the award in 2016. Meanwhile, Iwobi is set to be one of the outstanding players for Everton this season, notching 6 assists and scoring 1 goal in 23 games for the Toffees, who currently sits 16th in the EPL standings, just 1 point above the relegation zone. Still in sports, Manchester United produced a memorable second-half performance to reach the Europa League last 16 and knock out FC Barcelona in the process. Brazilian duo of Fred and Anthony, who came on as a half-time substitute, both drilled home low first-time shots in front of an ecstatic Stretford end. It was a victory that looked so unlikely at half-time as Barcelona led, thanks to Robert Lewandowski's 18-minute penalty after Bruno Fernandes' needless foul on Alejandro Balde. But Anthony's arrival for struggling forward Wout Weghorst changed the course of the tie as it injected more pace into United's attacks, which the La Liga leaders failed to deal with. Erik ten Hag's side now move on to Wembley, where they will look to collect their first silverware since 2017, when they faced Newcastle United in the EFL Cup final. To entertainment now, Nigerian multi-talented singer and producer Kel P has released his debut EP titled Bully Season 1 as he aims to solidify his foray into singing. Released via Universal Music France, International and Jones Worldwide, Bully Season Volume 1 was written by Kel P, with production assistance from London, KDA Great, Northboy, Crispbeat and Ayatosh. Still on the entertainment front, Netflix has slashed subscription rates in more than 30 countries across Asia, Europe, Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East. The streaming giant announced the decision as it attempts to attract more subscribers amid stiff competition and strained consumer spending. According to Netflix, the decision only affects countries that account for a small fraction of its customer base. And that's all we have for you at this time. Many thanks indeed for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and do also subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website. Just search spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching the news at 2. Many thanks for joining us. I am Raymond Eta. Good afternoon.